Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. Things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and medications are hard to pronounce, so please bear with me. Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
Would you rather be able to teleport or stop time?
I mean, stop time, I guess, because with that you could essentially fake teleporting, right? Stop time, walk over somewhere
okay.
else, and then restart time, and boom, from everybody else's perspective, I teleport. But then
Yeah, that's what it
I
looks like.
guess I would be aging through that time, wouldn't I? So it would seem to everybody else eventually, the more I teleport, the older I would get.
You also have to walk in your scenario.
Oh yeah, I have to be able to get there.
Right, that's hard.
Yeah, but all the other stuff I could do while time is stopped.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I'll stick with stop the time because I could
How about you, Jeff?
limited fake teleportation, but yeah.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
I want, so I can go anywhere I want, whenever I want.
I think teleporting just feels more convenient, but it would definitely be done pretty frequently.
And if I stop time, if you stop time, you're stopping it for everyone, so you're alone in that time frame, and everyone else is frozen. So it's anything you're going to do, you're doing by yourself.
That's awesome. That's perfect for me.
I kind of like that also, but I still would rather teleport.
Beam up to space and float around in the zero
Right.
G, no back pain.
That's right. That's my goal. I would love to be in space.
Yeah, they
All
just
right.
launched a rocket, a Falcon 9 this morning from Cape Canaveral, but it was too bright. The sun had just come up. It was like right there, so I couldn't see anything.
They're awesome growing up.
That's something to watch. All right, so we've got quite a few things saved up. Anything somebody had a intention of discussing today?
What about you, Kate? You got to answer the icebreaker.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think I would definitely go with the teleporting. It seems so
Yeah.
much quicker, convenient, I think so. And the alone when stopping time thing. No, if time we restarted time and family saw me any older, that would be a problem.
I mean, what if you wanted, you're in the mood for French food? You could just hop over to Paris. And if the next night you were in the mood for Italian food, you could just go to Rome. I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's teleporting for sure. Okay, somebody brings up a shower trigger. So to start, you may have seen posts from a few months ago where I was struggling with medications, Keppra, topiramate, not for me. Now I'm on Depakote a few months and still have seizures. My actual question is, do you often find you have seizures in the shower? I do, and I find it is so bizarre and frustrating. It taints the process of showering. I do have focal impaired awareness seizures, so I'm mostly okay. My brain feels like it's trying to make memory that doesn't exist, if that makes sense. It's almost like I can see these memories, but they never happen, and it's often while I'm in the shower. Does anyone relate to this? Water is not a trigger for me. What about you guys?
Not for me.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, one of the comments here that I guess that is a thing for some people. They're saying all the time it's a water hit that hits my face. And somebody's questioning them about the consistency. Does it happen always within like the first 5 minutes of being in there, or same time of day kind of thing? And they're saying, nope, only shower at night, and then had them twice. And then today I showered an hour ago after I woke up. Yeah, so they're just saying they don't do anything consistent. Yeah, that's a better way to narrow down whether or not it is a trigger. Temperature might even make a difference for this one. Then again, how long does it take you guys to settle into medications? If you got a new medication, you've only been on it for a month or so, it might just be too weak, not doing what it's got to do.
It's taken me months until I'm finally comfortable with my medication.
All right, so this one definitely getting consistent feedback about, could be the pills, it could be what you're doing. So what we've got here is a neuropsychologist. I've tapered down lamotrigine from 300 to 400 in 4 months. I don't have the auras, headaches, or anxiety anymore, and it's great. Thought my mental health would be better, maybe have more energy and feel alive or happier, but I still feel somewhat the same. I told this to my neuro, and she gave me some names for neuropsychologists. Is the way I'm feeling similar to anyone else? Oh, okay. So they're just asking what's your experience with neuropsychology. You guys ever seen one of those?
No.
Like, what's the motivation behind that?
I had a neuropsych eval as part of my what led to my diagnosis of autism. It just kind of, at the time, it was part of, they were also using it to test for seizures and stuff. So, I'm not sure why they did that then, and it doesn't seem to be so standard now. But, I mean, that was one benefit, that, autism diagnosis, Asperger's syndrome. As for seeing a neuropsych specialist, from what I understand from my epileptologist, she had said that um, treating depression in individuals who are on anti-epileptic drugs is something particularly um, unique, and a specialist with an understanding of like the underlying brain condition and awareness of the anti-epilepsy drugs, as opposed to just a psychiatrist looking at it from purely mental health standpoint, uh, tends to be a lot more effective outcomes and treatments for um, any sort of mental health difficulties while being treated for epilepsy.
So does it sound like the statement of a neuropsychologist is a psychologist who assesses the relationship between the brain and behavior using comprehensive cognitive and behavioral testing to evaluate thinking, memory, and emotions after a neurological condition? Maybe they're trying to say that the neuropsychologist more studies like the relationship between your mental health and the epilepsy. I just wouldn't know what conclusion they could come to that would be helpful. But like you said, that autism thing might make a difference. Does anything that has to do with another neurological condition ever really influence the epilepsy or the seizures?
ADHD, the stressors of focus or inability to focus, um, uh,
Could those be a trigger?
dyslexia. Um, I mean, sure, if it's difficult to focus, you're being demanded to, get this task done, and your brain's going everywhere. And I mean, it's very difficult to be living inside of an autistic ADHD brain in a world that is not designed for that style of thinking. Um, and one issue with the autism, um, which I think maybe to a certain extent might even be an issue with ADHD, is sensory difficulties and sensory overload. Certain environments are just simply difficult to handle. Certain types of light, certain um, sounds, chaotic environments, bright lights. I mean, you notice I'm always in sort of a dimly lit environment here, and that's my sensory cave, safe space for me. So um, these are a lot of things that neurotypical people really don't ever consider, don't have to think about. Um, that being out in the living room with um, my family in a you know bright room with sunlight coming in the windows is a lot. you know High ceilings, wood floors, everything echoes. Any sound that is made is just reverberates. It's unsettling. Um I have difficulty spending too much time in there where um, the rest of my family just loves to gather. That's the place. I mean, naturally, right? The family room. That's but family minus Mark. Um, but um, yeah, I think that the neuropsych eval and any sort of neurodivergent diagnoses um, could be very helpful uh, with people with autism or people with epilepsy. Sorry, a little focused there.
No, that makes sense. And if anything, more neurologists may be willing to collaborate with the psychiatry side of it. Might make a big difference for a lot of people.
I think it would. It would be great to see.
Oh,
Mark, the thing with light and noise is the same with Lyme disease.
Oh,
I
really?
can't be in a room with artificial light. Natural light is okay, but artificial light kills me, and loud noises will kill me.
so the same with
I,
echoes,
I guess I don't really.
maybe just anything loud.
Yeah, I don't notice a lot of echoes, but anything loud, uh, and any artificial light at all. I mean, I'm in the dark most of the day, and then Liz turns on lights, and I turn them off. Um, it's just crazy. And hi,
All right.
Andrea.
Hello,
Enjoy. Hey, Andrea, welcome back.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
And our icebreaker for you today is, would you rather be able to teleport or stop time?
I don't know. Does the teleportation include time travel? Like, can you teleport
I
to
would,
another time?
Oh, that's a good question. Is it teleporting in time and space or just in space?
I mean,
Oh,
since the comparison is just stop time, I would assume that the teleport is only that one spectrum of,
Only,
immediate
only where
teleportation.
you're at. Okay.
Place, yeah, location.
I don't know.
Lots of options.
I probably teleport right now because transportation is a big issue for me.
Okay, that's definitely relatable. And next up, we've got somebody asking, what are your post-seizure necessities? Without question, chocolate, benzos, couch, and Star Trek. I say chocolate only because it's at the top of my list. I'll eat anything sweet after a good shake. Uh, yeah, I think I'm supposed to just be somewhere not hot at all. Just want to be somewhere with the fan blasting. and with a nice cold bottle of water. What do you guys think?
Can you say it
They want
again? My
they want what are
brain.
your yeah, no problem. That was a lot of words. What are your post-seizure necessities? What do you definitely want after a seizure?
It depends on the seizure.
Oh,
Because if
yeah.
it's just a little, like, one of my little focal awares, then really I don't need much of anything other than a little time. But if it's a big TC, then I mean, my last one, I spent a day and a half in bed, barely doing anything. I don't think I ate. I barely even drank water, just sleeping.
Yeah, sometimes you definitely need more recovery.
Right. It totally depends on the seizure for me.
And there's never one like consistent. I mean, for me, between the focal or the TCs, I could always do with a cold bottle of water, but that could be because it's a Florida summer too. So
Yeah, I
I
haven't
think that's
really
the only
found
reason that's consistent.
I haven't found much consistency on anything with mine.
Okay. How long have you had seizures?
5 years?
Oh, okay. You're still
Yeah,
pretty new.
yeah. I'm about ready to be assessed for surgery.
Oh, really? What are they suggesting?
I don't know. I got to go up and have all of we're in the middle of getting referred to another level epilepsy center to do all the testing for that. But I'm
So they
on
haven't
four.
narrowed down how many foci there are yet, or the locations really?
I I know they did the 4 day in hospital thing, and I think it was two while I was in there, and they said it was my right temporal lobe,
Okay.
so we know that.
So now it sounds like there's still a lot more pinpointing to do, and then nobody's mentioned whether it's be VNS, RNS, ablation, or anything to do with a laser.
He's pretty much told me I got to go up there and do all the tests, is all I've been
Okay.
told.
All right. So that's still something to look forward to. Getting some answers.
Yeah, hopefully.
So this one, all these questions about auras always interest me because I've just never had them. They're
Oh, I
saying my
didn't get
auras.
to
Oh,
I didn't
sh-
get to answer my post seizure. Sorry. Yeah.
okay. Please forgive me. You
Um
know I'm not so good with this. Go ahead.
no. Andrea had a really good, like a really thoughtful answer. I mean, that's very thorough. And I mean, I'm kind of with her on that. It depends on the degree, the type of seizure. I'm learning not all of mine are particularly noticeable at the time, but um, a couple of them I have noticed only because of what seems like an abrupt and overwhelming need to sleep, like a tiredness and a desire to nap, like beyond any degree of sleep deprivation I have ever felt. Um, uh, so, for the big ones, I'll say, definitely I want a nap. And the like the poster had said, the benzos, um, and then probably some good television, maybe some Star Trek or some put on some Futurama in the background and then just roll up in a blanket and kind of doze in and out for a few hours. Um, yeah, that's my cozy place for the big ones.
That's a good one too. Is just like curled up with a movie on or some like comfort TV of some sort.
Something you can definitely remember, so you know
Yeah,
what's coming, and something familiar. Yeah.
yeah. You don't have to try and remember it.
So even if everybody else is asleep and you have to keep the volume turned down, you don't even have to try to read the subtitles. Yeah, those are way better. All right, so next up, how do you ground yourself after an aura? My auras are usually deja vu or a feeling of dread and impending doom. These happen before little seizures, like absent seizures, so this seizure isn't too bad. but it can really be trippy and I completely spiral, deja vu feeling. Wait, I've done this before. Then wait, did I do this? Wait, no, this is how I quite remember this. This is all wrong. Dread feeling. OMG, what's going on? Eventually, I realized it's an aura, but during those couple minutes, it's extremely confusing and scary. Do you have a trick to quickly recognize an aura and ground yourself before spiraling? Yeah, that sounds pretty hectic, stressful, even just having the aura. But that's what makes it obvious that auras are definitely their own kind of seizure. Something's going on.
Yeah.
Do you
I
have
don't
aura?
know. No, not anything like that anyway.
I suppose my vocals would be the auras that I experienced, the sensation on one side of the body or the other and stuff, and kind of builds up to a tonic-clonic. But when it doesn't, or when I'm still present enough, I um, make a note of it in my seizure log. I have a little note in my phone that's been going for a few years now, and just type out the date and the time, and try to make a note as best as I could of what the symptoms were, how intense they were, exactly what time it was. So um, that can be grounding in itself, thinking about what time it is, what's going on. This is here, this is now. This hasn't happened before. Um, uh, it can be helpful, but when a tonic-clonic is coming, it's that's not going to stop anything.
Do you happen to find taking notes in, the phone or on a device any different than actually writing it out? I haven't done that for a long time, but there's that consistent kind of hypothesis among like teachers and anybody in the education field that actually physically writing something is more grounding and I guess reassuring than just taking a note. What do you think?
It's interesting. Uh, I would love to try it, but at this point, I've been doing the digital one for so long that um, transcribing all of that over, and then carrying a physical notebook with me. It just kind of, I've always got the phone with me, so uh, I don't know. I wish it would be more feasible, more viable, but the phone is just way too convenient.
Yeah, so I mean if we ever try it again, I'd like to see if it makes a difference to how long and how would I even go figure out what time it is. I knows all the clocks are digital too. I'd end up having to turn on the TV to check the time and then yeah, probably I'd picture after a seizure if I'm trying to take notes of what happened and the time it would take me to figure out what day and time it is without the phone, I would probably forget what I was doing and just look at this and think I was like, making some kind of crossword or something or tic-tac-toe. Yeah, yeah, that's probably what would end up happening if I tried to get away from the digital notebook. But some of these people about the auras are saying, I don't know if it helps and not sure if a grounding technique, if there is such as a grounding technique, but I don't really have auras. Well, I do, but go straight to focal awareness. So I can see around me, but have no control of my body. I tried to focus on something that is constant. Could be something like a plug, a socket. Okay, yeah, socket, light switch, a corner, or something that is always in the same place. I find it helps to calm as there are a million and one thoughts going through my mind and nothing makes sense. Yeah, that sounds like a good kind of anxiety or like stress relief technique. Yeah, so focusing on something real and constant might help during an aura.
Focus on your breathing.
Oh, that's a good one too. How do you do it?
It's
Always like in
always,
through the nose, out through the mouth?
yep.
Okay. I,
I
I
mean,
just do
it
that with
doesn't
yoga.
matter. Honestly, just in, out, as long as you're focusing on your breathing and like try to breathe slow.
Okay.
Like you know, like breathe into the count of 4 and out to the count of 4, into the count of 4, out to the count of 4.
Yeah, nice deep breaths always feel better. Do you ever get
Yeah,
like dizzy around the time of seizures? Because that's the only thing that I kind of have to remind
I
myself to take it easy on the breathing.
I just get dizzy,
Yeah.
but I think that's all the meds I'm on. So,
No, that could definitely be it. So this one is saying one thing that's helped me is to try and squeeze something that isn't moving really hard, like a table or the armrest or a handlebar, or yeah, as they're saying, if it's a car, then the armrest. If there's nothing around, I'll try just pressing my palms really hard into the floor. There's something about this little action which reminds me that this is temporary. I'm not going crazy. The world is not spinning out of control. I just have to hang on for a few minutes and it'll be over. Gives me something to focus on until the seizure starts or the aura goes away. Wow, auras are annoying. I was started out looking at them as a warning, you know, kind of knowing when to sit down and get to a safe place, but now they just sound really stressful.
Yeah, and learning that they aren't really just the prelude to a seizure, they are actually seizures themselves, really kind of made them that much more annoying, I suppose.
and then it's not just anxiety. I swear, I've been told so much is just anxiety.
That is a
Yeah, or
pretty,
just panic attacks.
Yeah, my focals were panic attacks for 3.5 years. Right.
Mm. Yeah.
and this one's saying Ativan, sit on the floor in a dark room, breathe slowly. The Ativan kicks in within 10 minutes. Thank God for my benzo. I would have no quality of life without it. Can't stand auras. I mean, the only thing with that, I'm just so hesitant to go for any rescue med if, especially if it's a partial. If it's not like full blown tonic-clonics or actual clusters that are getting in the way of things, and I'd rather not go for the rescues because I just feel like I can only use it for like literally a year before it doesn't work anymore. Just get another medication resistant label on that one.
I'm already on 4 seizure meds. I don't need more.
Yeah, I can
I
agree with
like my
that.
benzo. I like having the peace of mind of, you know, um being able to head it off on particularly. I don't know, there's some days where I don't actually have the aura itself, but I feel just like, I don't know, buzzy is the word I've used to describe it to my family, but it's um or when I've had, 3, 4 of them at a time, that's something that's got to stop. My epileptologist has said, since every seizure makes it easier for your brain to have the next seizure, um, they want me to stop as many of them as I can. Um, so, uh, I don't know, for the time being, I'm using the rescue med or the clonazepam, you know, uh when I start feeling some of these smaller vocal awares. Um not going for like full blown for the nasal am, zapping myself. Um that's for sure. That's a whole other level of rescue. But a half milligram clonazepam tablet, uh, I mean, takes care of the whole day.
And that's the goal with getting off of these clobazams. That's why I kept them. I can get the rest of the refills and just keep it around and see if maybe that would serve a purpose before I get, you know, resistant to my one actual rescue. Because we've had to use the nasal lamp a handful of times already, and that's usually the limit to where it doesn't work anymore. So I kind of wanted to have another plan B basically, and that's what I'm hoping to get to with these.
I don't think they would work for me just because I don't have any kind of warning whatsoever. I just wake up on the floor.
Does anybody know what to do or how, to record it, see how long it's going, stuff like that?
I live by myself.
Any cameras?
No, I
Okay.
like literally I don't I've only had a seizure around two other people and one of them is not around anymore. So
Yeah, that's a lot of adapting. Have you done any, I don't know, kind of seizure proofing the house? Any rooms that, like a half bath for me is a nightmare. There are places like that a little better if, you do some rearranging or something?
I mean I do what I can, but I also like broke a tooth off and I think I broke my nose last year.
Yeah,
So
gotta hate those ones.
yeah,
Do watches or phones anything that's actually done a alert successfully?
after the fact.
And that's usually when you've already become like conscious enough to actually call for help or do what you needed to do anyway.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have to like it's like I gotta get up and check
right.
afterwards.
All right, well, at least it's reassuring, something that does
Yeah,
confirm
I'm
a time, some kind of record.
yeah, and it's got a safety feature on it that I can call people with it really easily, so that's good.
Yeah,
I just
alerts are
have to be
definitely good.
willing to use it.
Yeah, that's something we always got to talk ourselves into. Who to keep on that call list.
Yeah.
So another one here saying morning seizures. I absolutely hate morning seizures. Waking up out of a dead sleep, vomiting, and that horrible impending doom feeling is awful. It scares my kids too. My poor daughter had to use the nose spray to get me out of it. Thankfully, it worked. Now I'll be paranoid all day that more are coming. Morning seizures definitely set the tone for the day. That's that's something I can agree with. Do you get them in the
I
morning
think
too sometimes?
I think I've had them in my I mean, I know that I've had them in my sleep, but like there's sometimes that I've woken up and wondered, I wonder if I had a seizure last night, but I have no idea, you know, because I've had the weird feelings when I woke up and stuff. So,
So it's not those obvious like bit the tongue or like this part of
mm,
this muscle hurts or it wasn't like a tonic-clonic one.
sometimes, but that hasn't always happened with me. Like my last huge tonic-clonic, I woke up on the floor and the only thing I remember is feeling like I was gonna puke and waking up on the floor. And then like there was evidence later, but
Oh yeah, you really don't get the feeling right after the convulsions that you're not. I'm always more sore the next day.
I was asleep for 2 days,
That too.
so I have no idea.
Yeah, you definitely don't exactly take notes very well after a long one, especially.
And no one was around, so I was half texting people.
They have to learn to recognize that post-seizure language, basically, whole different kind of grammar.
I I think I kept lying to them.
Oh, so you're just giving these short, yeah, I'm good. It's all good answers.
Probably.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's definitely something that we all do too. Welcome in.
Hello, hello. How is everybody today?
Doing pretty good. How are you
Mm,
feeling?
I'm okay. I'm not going to stay long. I took some pain medicine a little while ago, so I'm kind of sleepy. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in for a while,
Okay,
see
so
what's
at this
going
point, the
on.
anesthesia's out though. That's all
Yeah,
done and
yeah,
gone.
it's
Okay,
out. The nerve block's expired.
that one.
Because
Okay.
it was just a temporary nerve block because yeah, they had to get that to move, so they could fix it. But yeah, that's gone. But I still have the hydrocodone, taking it every 4 hours. I'd rather not, but this is painful. This is this hurts. So, but doing better.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Well, there's a fun icebreaker for today is would you rather be able to teleport or stop time?
teleport. Yeah, I would rather teleport than stop time because
Yeah, we've been analyzing that too.
yeah, because stopping time, no, that's no fun. That's
Well, I didn't
and that,
think at first that when you stop time, you're alone.
yeah, pretty much. It's like and that's it.
If I
That's
could go back in time, I would do that. Totally.
that's what teleporting is, right?
That's
Well,
what
that's
I
what we were
wanted to.
discussing. If the teleporting versus time travel, I mean, teleporting versus stopping time could be just to go anywhere, but at that time, then that's why teleporting or to yeah, teleporting is still kind of consistently the go-to, but not
Yeah,
because you can go back in time. It's just going
you
to
can,
different locations and everybody else is still there.
right.
Of course you can go back in time.
If you
Okay,
still have
so
the
Teleport, you
memory.
can do
teleport.
anything you want. I'm
What are you?
setting the rules.
All right,
Thank
so
you,
that's
Jeff.
the
I'm
hands
gonna
down
go
winner.
back and I'm gonna go back and get my Andrew back.
I'm gonna go back in time where I have a fully packed bowl because I sat down with an empty bowl. So
Uh-oh.
Don't you
I'm
hate it when that
sorry,
happens?
Andrea. Yeah, I would love to go back in time and get some things
Party
back.
foul.
Party foul. I know,
Party
bad.
foul.
All right, so on that one, what were we even talking about? Oh, morning seizures. Okay, so this person's saying mine start in the morning and continue for a day and a half. You're lucky that nose spray works. Okay, so that's one that sounds familiar. The rescue
Welcome,
isn't
Pookie.
much of a rescue. Hey, look at you. This comment is saying, I guess you missed the sentence that said, thankfully it worked this time. I know it never works, and my seizures go on for days. I have absent seizures and tonic-clonics. This was just an absent seizure. Majority of the time, the tonic-clonic comes later. The day just started 4 hours ago. My fingers and legs are crossed and hoping the tonic-clonic doesn't follow today. Yeah, that's the other thing about when you get a morning seizure, it seems like there's definitely going to be more. I feel like that way more than if it happens later in the day.
I'm
It's
worried
annoying
because
too
my
because there's like
last
no
two, but
trigger.
I'm worried because my last two were only 2 weeks apart. And they're usually like there have been about 6 months apart.
Oh, nice.
Right. I was a week from driving. Not,
Oh,
I know.
that's a little.
I know. I was debating whether I should or not, but
And there's your answer.
I know. That's what I heard. I'm selling my car.
There you go.
Why?
Nice space opened up.
Welcome, Pookie.
Hello. How are
I
you?
hope I hope your head is feeling better.
Well, not really, but I'm here.
Hi,
That's
Pookie.
the warrior.
Jeff and Mark. Yes, I'm here.
Andrea, who are you
Pookie,
on Reddit?
Jeff said, put one foot in front of the other, and I just kept thinking about it. Let me just get to it.
let me tell you something else. Kate
Yes.
said before that she's not very good at this. She's a liar. She's very good at this. And if
I
you
know
ever
she
say that
was. I
again,
wasn't
Kate,
worried.
I'm getting on a plane and I'm going to kick your butt.
Yeah, I knew Kate was ready.
Duly noted.
Had her throw her in the fire just to let her see if she can put it out herself, and she did. Um,
So that's what this is. This was all just a test, huh?
no, no,
No, I'm fucking
Tia
with you.
didn't make it any better. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm fucking with you. All right, so this was a post about morning seizures. Somebody saying they wake up out of a dead sleep vomiting and just that horrible impending doom feeling. What is your take on the morning seizures?
morning seizures, uh,
Yeah.
they suck. That's when no one's barely awake and have the energy to take care of me. I've had those in my living room in front of people. And we got hardwood, so they didn't even try to get me up. They were like, oh, damn, early. And I seen that on camera. They don't know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. They're still considered nocturnal seizures because they happen during certain phases of sleep wake, and some people have them only in particular phases. Um, that's why my mornings are usually bad because I have them closer to my waking phase. So like if I'm taking a nap, when I'm waking up from that nap, I could have a seizure. But that's when my nocturnal seizures, those are still considered nocturnal, even though they're in the morning, but you were sleeping. They occur during phases of sleep. I hate those though, because like you said, Pookie, it's like nobody's up, but I lived alone, for a long time with this. So, I learned how to deal with a lot of it on my own. But I hate waking up in a mess. I hate waking up like that. So, yeah, that's how I feel about those waking up in a seizure thing. I truly dislike them. There. Hi, Mark. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Andrea. Hi, everybody. Hi, Pookie.
Well,
I gotta talk to you
Thanks.
sometime. Yeah, we gotta talk.
when I was in the EMU, my doctor told me that I had an irritable brain when I sleep, whatever that means.
Hey, they gotta
So
have
like
a label for
particularly
everything.
seizure prone or something? Do you have,
I'm
are you
guessing.
nocturnal?
What?
Are your seizures nocturnal?
My first one was, and I've had some in my sleep since then, but not all of them.
Enough to impress a doctor, apparently.
Right. But I've decided there's nothing medical about me that is normal, so that's okay. A doctor wrote an article about me a long time ago, so.
Hey,
Very
that's
cool.
impressive. Tell me you got that framed.
Huh?
Tell me you got that
Oh,
framed. That's impressive.
it's I was just told that I was going to be in a medical journal when I was like 10 years old because my legs are screwed up.
Hey, that's still an accomplishment to actually be able to contribute something to the medical community that might actually benefit for somebody else.
I sure
That's a
hope
big
it
deal.
helps somebody.
Yeah, that's really cool. Something to be proud of. We should start a club. I was in a anonymously featured in a data group that was written about for a heart condition I had when I was 12. So, and I was the particularly most severe case. So they had a data set, and out of 300, I was number one. So,
You one of
yeah,
those you never want to be number one at, right?
right, yeah. But I mean, if you're gonna be, you know, noteworthy for something, you might as well be number one at it, I suppose.
At least you got written about
Yeah,
for being
yeah,
number one.
yeah. Even if it was anonymous, um, I like that idea, Kate, though. I should print up like at least the abstract and frame it and highlight that one case of, yeah, that's a cool idea.
I don't
Yeah.
even know where mine's at or who the doctor was. I was 10 and I didn't care.
Well, that would be a really fun spring cleaning project to track it down.
Yeah.
So there's another relatable one here. Anyone else feel stupid after having seizures? My memory used to be so good and I was really sharp when it came to thinking or speaking. Now I get kind of hung up on words that used to be no problem for me. I even bombed an interview because of it. Do seizures make you feel stupid temporarily? Without a doubt.
Yep.
Every day.
So
Especially when you
if
look at
this
somebody and they
posted,
got good memory.
yeah, that's true. Where you turn around and try to finish, grading a daughter's lesson and now you don't know how to spell interrogate. You have to seriously contemplate, are there two R's in this word? Yeah, that happened today.
Google is my best friend.
I do that constantly. Siri, can you spell? I seriously, because honestly, Kate, this was something that I had to have literally pushed into my head. This is part of it. It's just part of aging. We feel it sooner because we have epilepsy. It is a judgment that we put on ourselves. So, and now we have technology that can help us through it. So use it. Just don't, and it's like, I do it all the time. I'm trying to learn how to use Chat GPT because somebody said that they use their, what is it, their the note app on their Apple phone for their journal. And then they run it through Chat GPT and it picks up patterns and all of this stuff for them. And I'm like, okay, yo, I want to learn how to do that. So, you have the technology, just say, can you spell this for me? Don't beat yourself up over it. I do it all the time, and sometimes with the same word in one paragraph. Okay, so yeah, it's nothing to beat yourself up over, especially today. Okay, especially today.
I mean,
Yeah, I
I
don't.
just
Go
use
ahead.
the plain old autocorrect. I just go ahead with my mistyping and then go back and double click the word and just boom. Yeah, that was it.
Go ahead, Kate.
No, I was gonna ask you guys both. Did you do that update that started finishing the sentences for you now? Because I hate that.
On Apple, yeah, it does that, and I don't know how to change it. But when I use my laptop and my Android, I check the autocorrect off because I think if I use it too much, I might forget how to spell words. Some people don't even spell the full word. They put 3 letters and press space, and then it does the word for you. My memory isn't that good. Got to remember words, and I was forgetting how to spell some long words, and I was like, I used to know how to spell this. Turn off autocorrect. Spell it. Sound it out. That's what my mom used to say when I was a kid. Sound it out. Yeah. So there's that.
And some of the comments here, yeah, they definitely agree. Say temporarily, it makes me stupid daily. But in more seriousness, about to lose my job because of it and frequent seizures. The temporary stupidness is called post-ictal state as your brain recovers. Getting hung up on words is known as a symptom of epilepsy. There's a few different names associated called colloquially, I'm never going to say that right. The tip
Locally.
of tongue, yeah, something like that. The tip of tongue
Locally,
phenomenon. Yeah, there's a lot of
tip of the
whatever
tongue
those things are.
phenomenon.
Syllables. Yeah, there's a lot of syllables in that one. But yeah, a lot of people are just agreeing. I can't think of the right word constantly. I know it. I just can't pull it out of my head. It's gotten worse and worse over the last couple of years. And there's a consensus that this happens daily, whether it's, obviously worse after the seizure, but even when you're not having seizures.
Is
Kind of
that
resigned to that
aphasia?
fact. Yeah, I see aphasia listed here. That was one of the questions. Have your doctors already diagnosed you with aphasia? If not, I'd highly recommend letting them know, as that can be a pretty serious issue. I'm sorry you're having to go through this. It's an everyday thing for me. The poster said, I'm pretty new to all this. Just got diagnosed with the seizure disorder the other day. So I'm still trying to navigate it, but I'll let the doctors know. And then, yeah, appreciate the advice and see where that goes. That's definitely nothing the doctors would bring up. Go figure. That they're saying, I can tell you must be new to the club. The seizure will definitely give you a brain fog and just overall feeling of unawareness. Short-term memory is just something that's going to be tough. I like to write things down a lot, repeat out loud. Another big thing will be getting the right meds. Not having seizures is a top priority, especially for the job of your doctor. But value of life is super important. I have been 7 different medications, and just besides the one I'm on now, I feel like shit. Some I was groggy and tired, others I would feel almost hungover all day. And one I was literally like my brain was just mush. Another I had a rare side effect, which was a whole nother story. But patience is key for all of this. Hoping you're lucky enough to find the right meds and knowing more about your triggers. That's a pretty good answer. What do you guys think the kind of first step should be for a lot of these cases who are just diagnosed? For me, I wish I started taking the notes to narrow down triggers sooner. What do
Yeah,
Track everything.
100% on the journal. 100%. I would have been able to, yeah, we would have probably gotten farther faster had I
Like,
journaled. I think we should take a class on it, like, or something. We should create an online class on seizure journaling because I had no idea what to do when the doctor said keep a journal because that's all they said. And it's like, well, I don't even know what to put in there.
Yeah, do I write
And
about my dreams that I don't have anymore? Or
I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
keep
just
us.
sit in front of a blank page is kind of intimidating.
I agree. And trying to get my thoughts together to put down for a purpose to help in that way is even more intimidating because it's like, okay, this is information that I'm desperately needing to keep, but I can't get it on the paper.
Yeah.
So when I started putting little notes and codes, kind of like abbreviations in my calendar, because you know how Google Calendar has different colors.
Oh yeah.
I have a purple calendar.
I have
And
an app on my phone that does great.
yeah, I had an app that I was paying subscription for, and all of a sudden all of my information disappeared.
Mine's
And
free.
after like 5 years, I'm like, oh God, oh God, this was like, so then I tried paper, I tried,
Yeah.
what is the app that you use? You said it's free?
Yeah.
Like,
Daylio, I think Daylio.
I'm checking it out. I'm looking for it. D
But
A D A
D Y.
A L I O.
No, there's no A, just Lio. Only 6 letters. Daylio.
Daily Journal.
And you can go in and kind of add categories. And basically, what I do in it is like I track my mood, I track my like how good I sleep.
Wow. See, my problem, I like this. I'm
You
gonna
can add in
I
different
see that.
categories.
Yeah.
If you don't, you can take stuff out. You just all kinds of stuff. Like I track the what the weather's like to what my social contact was that day, because that contributes to my stress level. How I slept, what kind of food I ate, what
Right.
my activity levels, all that kind of stuff.
And you can explore charts, mood charts.
And yeah, it's got stats and it'll compare stuff to each other. You can go in and say, when you had this thing at this time, 30% of the time you were also doing this.
Yeah. Wow.
That's amazing. So that's probably something else a neuropsychiatrist would
Wow.
appreciate.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Andrea. Thank you for that.
I've been using it for years. I think I started using it because of my mood.
My problem is getting myself consistent, and it's so hard because I'm glitching. And
Hmm.
like right now, because of the way my week went, for a minute, I'm like, wait, is it Thursday? Is it Friday? Wait. Oh,
This one
yeah.
you can set alarms on it too. It pops up on your phone to say, "Hey, how you doing? Come fill me out."
That's amazing.
And like I have it pop up 3 times a day or 3 or 4 times a day.
See, I don't know if I would get annoyed by that, but I guess I should get used
You
to it.
don't have to do it. You can just
But
swipe it and not do it.
yeah, yeah, Apple has something like that on their health app for like whatever you want, mental health, physical health,
Mhm.
affirmations. But I like this.
I
I
like
Being
the
able
fact
to,
that it's literally like go through, click, 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 save, and you're out. It's
and
very quick and easy, and
and then
that's
they put
why
it
I've
together. Damn.
that's why I've continued to use it because it's so easy.
Yeah,
that
thanks.
sounds worth it, especially
Well,
since it's
it's
free.
free. It's
There
free.
you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
I paid for something and lost all my information. Wish I had it on paper, but you know, what's meant to be
I
is.
think you might even be able to export it too
Oh
and
yeah,
like send it and stuff to people.
I do that with my Apple Health Journal and my neurologist. I had that arrhythmia happen when we dropped my Vimpat when I was doing the Xcopri. And I sent everybody a note, because I have this pending surgery. I didn't know if it should have been a concern, whatever. And because he has access to my health app, he looked at my sleep pattern and apparently they can open up the graph, like spread
Yeah.
it out. And he's like, no, this looks more like a seizure to me.
Oh, well,
So,
that's cool.
and that's because my health provider has access. So I didn't have to do anything except say, hey, this happened. And he looked at it and he's like, no, I think I know now. So, but we're not messing with that until after I recover from all of this.
Do you, d- I think they put me on Xcopri and I think it made me lactose intolerant.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. All I know is that when we dropped my dose of Vimpat, the heart arrhythmia was so bad, I almost called an ambulance. And then I
I
sat
heard you
down,
talking about that the other day.
yeah, and the more we thought about it and communicated back and forth with my doctor, he's like, I think I did drop that Vimpat dose too quickly. But I didn't have a problem with the Xcopri after until like 50 milligrams. And it's like if we could consider using it as an adjunct at 25 milligrams, that might be an option. So yeah, but man, I don't know how I'm going to get off of Impact. It's just so many people. Mark had something similar happen with what was it, a 50 milligram? Sorry, that was rude of me to speak for you, but
No.
Yeah, no, so
we
it was a 50
experienced the same thing. Yeah.
milligram, 50 milligram increase in just the morning dose. Um, and then 200 milligrams, so 150 milligrams up to 200 milligrams in the morning to match the 200 milligrams in the evening. And yeah, shortly after that had a big heart rate spike and um, um, just nuts. After
Yeah.
seeing that, looked at the nanny cam, and I was doing all kinds of weird movements, arm swinging and hands flapping, legs kind of bicycle kicking and stuff, and then just get up and walk out of bed. Um,
Yeah.
so would have had no idea if it wasn't for that heart rate spike on the watch.
Yep. Yeah. I had some activity after my surgery Wednesday and they didn't recognize it. And then, I started clustering with myoclonic and my daughter was coming in and apparently everybody's gathered in the room and she's like, oh, apparently I'm walking into something, right? And she explained the kind of seizures I have. And they openly admitted that what they were seeing, they did not recognize as epileptic seizures. And as soon as they gave me Ativan, they stopped. So neurology watched me all day yesterday because I ended up staying overnight, which was the best thing. It was worth rescheduling it. Um, but yeah, the it's the Vimpat. It's the Vimpat. What can I say? I was looking through my medication list. They did not, if they gave it to me, they did not put it in the record that they gave me Vimpat, my PM dose after my surgery. So I started having seizures within 3 hours of that missed dose. And it's like, oh God. And they were focals, which, okay, but yo, they were myoclonic focals that were starting in the surgery site. And it's like, we got to make this stop. But it wasn't until my daughter explained to them what kind of seizures I have, they had no idea. And we got to make this a mission. I mean, how is it that, nurses and doctors in the surgery recovery have no idea what this looks like, what this was.
That blows my mind.
I'm still in a state of shock from him. You know, and it's like, but here's a positive. I came home yesterday. The nurse was already here today for home care and took off the surgical bandage. We're setting up physical therapy and occupational therapy right here at the house. But it was like the day after I got out of the hospital. The last time I needed help, it took 2 months. So it's like, wow. Yeah. So it's still a win. I'm feeling good, but I'm feeling really tired because I'm taking the hydrocodone. And yeah. And Jeff, yes, I came home. Let's see if my leash will allow me because I'm hooked up to my tablet. I gotta show my friend Mike. I got the pillow and the ball, you know, that one. I didn't come home in a clamshell. So no replacement yet. But my daughter is cracking up right now. I have my younger daughter here with me today. My older daughter is somewhere. This is Nikki.
Hi.
Say hi. Yeah, she's the one that gave me the name Groovy. So I give her that credit. But yeah, so it's all fixed up, Jeff. We did really good. It went really well. No complications during the surgery, but coming out of the anesthesia and a
That's
little bit
great
later.
news.
Yeah. And you know, and it's like they knew to listen because the exact reason I was there. So this was a 3 for 3. They know how to deal with it if I have to have general anesthesia. This is exactly part of the treatment plan. So I'm like, finally, finally. So if I have to have another surgery, I feel safer. But I'm definitely feeling the opioid, and then I went and packed a fresh bowl. So yeah, I'm feeling this. But I
But we
rather
all know if there was anybody to teach him a lesson, it was you.
well, and it was my daughter though. Natalie was telling them more about this type of seizures and the type of epilepsy because I didn't even know until this new doctor was explaining, you know, this is sort of what you have, but not anymore. It isn't just temporal lobe focal epilepsy. You do have focal epilepsy, but you have focal to tonic clonic, you know, to bilateral because or to bilateral tonic clonic because it'll go like the seizures will start bouncing back and forth and then it gets my whole brain going. But you know, it's like I didn't know it was that bad until I started reading some more about it, you know, because I had to have information for the anesthesiologist and all of that. And this woman, she's like, "Oh, okay, okay. You have seizure, you know, only once?" And I'm like, "No." And she said, "Well, focal, that's only once." And I'm like, "Oh my God. Are you going to be my anesthesiologist?" She said, "No, that will be someone else." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, good." Yeah, so yeah, just one. It's just one spot. It's my brain. That's where these seizures happen. Yeah. And I couldn't see my daughter, but I can only imagine the look on her face. And it's like, oh, yeah, yeah. But I really was surprised. And I can't be mad, but I wish I had a solution for that. That they didn't even know I was having seizures. Yeah, crazy. Oops, tangled. See, I'm stoned, I'm drugged, I'm
But you got all the hugs on top of it coming from us.
Oh yeah, and the other one's going to be home at 5:45. So
But anyway, recovery from an SEEG. Hi, everybody. My wife has very bravely endured 4 weeks on an SEEG. It's been just over 2 weeks now since the surgery, removing the probes, 14 in total. She's still having headaches. The holes look like they're healing okay. My question is, how long has it? Oh, hey there. And okay, so the question they're asking is, how long has it taken to get back to normal after the SEEG? And yeah, I mean, as long as there's, from what I remember, as long as there was no infection, that was a good 2 weeks of, pain. That definitely didn't feel normal.
I actually
The
don't remember
responses are
what that
saying 4
is.
weeks. Oh, that's the one where they go, they try to find like how the word depth is coming to mind. Like the
Oh, the ones where they actually put it in
electrodes.
your head?
Yeah, the electrodes are actually like on your brain. It's not just on top of your skull.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those. I never had it though, and it does seem really uncomfortable. But yeah, it sucks. Then you have to sleep with it. And your head has to heal after that. Did you have no hair when it happened? Did they make you shave it all off?
No, not for the SEEG. They didn't shave anything until they did the actual craniotomy. And that was only one strip back here that never grew back. So it wasn't that big.
They like shaved you all bald? You got to start over?
I cut it short. It was no shaving, but the scar did result in thinner hair. I definitely used to have thicker hair.
I got some, you guys. It says, what's the hardest part about being independent with seizures? Did you guys go through this already? Because
You got a good one. We did not read that one.
for me, it's just, actually, I'm not independent. So I lost my independence. So yeah, there's that.
I live in my own place, but I don't feel independent at all.
Yeah, I'm home alone 90% of the time. And yeah, lost the independence, but still independent. So I go to the first comment. It says transportation. Self isolation. That's another one too. It's risky no matter how many precautions you take. In public with your purse and have a seizure, very vulnerable to ass hat who steals your shit, LOL, or worse. You're never truly independent. You guys agree with that? I do.
Did you see
Yeah.
Brian's answer?
Say that again.
Did you see Brian's answer?
No,
He
I
takes
didn't. I'm
Keppra.
usually
He takes Keppra, and he was just recently diagnosed. The hardest part for me when I was independent was the isolation, just being alone all the time.
yeah. Yeah, that part sucks, especially when you don't have anybody to check up on you at all. Nobody to ask you, are you okay? Any of that. That part sucks. Then it stays on my mind. I'm sitting there going crazy. But you guys keep me sane.
Well, you keep
Here,
us sane.
here because
You
Jeff
keep
told me put one foot in front of the other. Yeah. Got a post. It says focal seizure in sleep. So I woke up this morning feeling post-ictal, foggy and groggy, and pain in my shoulders and neck with it and exhausted. Husband says I was twitching and jerking a lot in my sleep, but not like a TC jerking, more like myoclonic type jerking. Is it possible to have focal during sleep and not be aware? I feel the same way I do when I'm coming around from a focal episode. So so, if so, how do you deal with waking up feeling more tired and broken than when you feel than when you want than when you went to bed? I'm sorry. Yeah. Uh, I don't know if focal in the sleep is a thing. Is it? Anybody know that?
I
Yeah,
think
they
I've
told me
had
this
them.
RNS picks them up.
Come again?
I think I've had them just because I wake up and just have the weird feeling that I have when I get my focals. So I kind of still have that feeling when I'm waking up. It makes me think I was having one or had one while I was sleeping and just woke up from it.
Yeah, in the RNS, they told me a couple times that they've picked up focals in nocturnal hours. So that's definitely a thing.
Hmm.
I just won't really feel it.
Those are a few comments. One says, I tackle those moments like I do regular waking up, taking time for my body to set. It's like self-scan, show movement for the joints and mild stretching, everything dim and quiet. If I'm very sore, I use warm water in the shower and then reach for my massage gun or tennis balls. It may sound like a lot, but a few minutes of it also helps the body. Another one said, that's exactly what I've been feeling lately. I don't know. I just take my pills and drink a lot of water. I have no Advil, or I have an Advil or two and hope for the best. Last comment says, I just had exactly the same experience yesterday. I woke up feeling like a complete dog shit, tried to get myself ready for work, but my body was like, in quote, forget about this. You're staying at home. There was nothing I could do other than drink plenty of water and eat salty food. Seizures depletes electrolytes. Then I went for sleep. Then I went to sleep for another 10 hours. I got something that says, can someone explain Kepper rage? It says, back in April, I did an EMU visit where they put me on 750 milligrams 2 times nightly of Keppra. I was also later put on 20 milligrams 2 times daily of clobazam. I've seen a lot of people talk about some kind of anger, but I never really felt the effect. I've been on Lamictal for 20 years, so I'm used to feeling sleepy, dizzy, side effects of seizure meds. Basically, I can some basically can someone explain what they feel? I've been in therapy before to help with depression, and my therapist taught me a lot about the emotional control. Is it that I is that why I don't get angry, or am I feeling angry but don't know it because I don't know how it feels? I haven't exactly experienced Kepper rage. Um, I heard it's like an emotional roller coaster, a lot of anger and a lot of up and down feelings about everything. That's just from what I'm hearing. I don't personally know.
It yeah, it definitely is. That Hi guys, I haven't said hi yet. I've been here for a few minutes. But yeah, I'm on both Keppra and Clobazam, and since I've been taking the latter for the last couple of months, I've I've felt even more weird than I already normally do. Like, like the drugs, the medicines can make you kind of feel out of it, or if you have a seizure, you can kind of feel, not yourself. But I feel even more out of it after taking the clobazam the last, couple of months. So I don't know if it's just me personally and how my body is handling it, but I feel like, yeah, Keppra and clobazam probably aren't the two best friends to be to be taking on at the same time. It's really definitely messed with me. And like I mentioned on the stream the other day, I'm gonna make a doctor's appointment here really soon. I need to get myself off the clobazam because yeah, it's making me not be me, to put it shortly.
Hey, that's what they're there for. They gotta listen. What's up, Jeff?
I was put on Keppra. Sorry, I was put on Keppra when I was first diagnosed, and I had all the bad effects of it. I had terrible rage. I wanted to just kill people constantly.
Yep.
Uh, my whole personality changed. Um, I was angry all the time at everything, and and more than that, like I said, my whole personality changed, and
Yeah.
I was on it for several months, and I told the doctor I needed to get off, or I was going to actually kill someone. I mean, I
That's a
was yelling at people. They were parking over the line in parking lots, and I was screaming at them. And either I was going to kill somebody or somebody was going to kill me.
that's pretty much exactly what happened to me, and I was
Yeah.
suicidal as well.
From the cat breath?
Mm.
Yeah, I got suicidal. I remember one day that I pretty much gave my gun and all the bullets. Is like, get this out of the house, take it to my dad, put it in the gun safe.
Hey, at least you had the sound judgment
Right.
to go that far. Yeah.
I was like, this is not good. Get it out of here. And I was just screaming at people all the time and irritable and angry, and it's just awful.
Honestly, that's another
At
thing
least
that I think would have made a difference about taking notes when they have you taking something over the course of like 6 months to get it to where they is like the good dose. I think that's probably where maybe I didn't realize how bad things were getting
I didn't
if I would have
realize it
taken notes.
personally.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's something that the notes could have helped with.
I don't.
'Cause even go ahead.
I was just gonna say it kind of got talked about last night on the subreddit. Somebody asked about, you know, being violent after, having a seizure or something. So I kind of put my reply in there where I had already mentioned it here on a stream a couple times. I had been violent after procedures that I had done. The anesthesiology or whatever that type of medication exactly is called.
Yeah, something like
Obviously
that.
didn't mix well with me. Um, so as I had posted one time, I had, full on swung um, at nurses. I had to be held down by security guards and everything there. Um, so that's okay. I can understand that because it's something my mind couldn't control. It's a stranger. But the worst part of it, and I posted a little bit about it too, was I had essentially done the same thing to my mom one time too. Um, and I mean, I live with her. She's always there for me with all the seizures, with everything. And for me to, like, talk to her like that, disrespect her. She had a bruise on her arm. I got violent with her, and so it was, and I remember basically none of it. And it sucks. It sucks so bad to, know that you've done that to the person that's, always there for you and always is going to take care of you and everything. And so that was a tough one for me to deal with. Thankfully, it's only been once where it's gotten that bad with, somebody that close to me. But yeah, we just have no control over ourselves for a few minutes. Even though it's just a few minutes, it can really make a big, like, change within relationships and friendships, right? If somebody doesn't truly understand what your situation is.
I promise she still loves you.
Oh, yeah, she does. We because of my situation, we live together. We work together as well. She's one of my, like, I would definitely say she's one of my best friends.
That's
I
great.
don't like, not to sound like a little like mama's boy, but seriously, she really is. I definitely tell her, a lot of, things that probably most kids wouldn't tell their parents. I just feel, comfortable enough around her, so it's good, and she understands the situation. It's just tough to I'm sure you guys have been in at least one situation like that before, right? Where
Yes,
you regret
I
what you
have.
did, but you know you have no control over it. So it's like you want to feel ashamed or you want to feel sorry about it, but you also know it's not completely your fault. Does anybody else have that
Yeah,
feeling before?
yeah. I
Absolutely.
did the same thing to my mom, and I felt really bad afterwards when she was like, "It's okay." Um, but we laughed about it because she was telling me the story and she was laughing as she was telling it to me. Um, I've tried to fight the
that's how my
I've
mom
tried to
was too,
fight
man.
the ambulance. I've nearly got out of the ambulance. I opened the door, I believe, and they got me before I got out, fortunately, because that would have been bad. Um, yeah, that could have been really bad. I've taken the IV out and left the hospital too. Yeah, I've done some shit.
I
But the one time
I
with my mom, the ambulance were surrounding me. I mean, the paramedics were surrounding me. And then my mom, she had my jacket. And I think she said she had my pants because I took my pants. I don't know. I think she might have just had my jacket. But she said, I looked at her when the paramedics were surrounding me and I said, nigga, give me my jacket. And she was like, instantly, I knew that wasn't you. And she was like, I'm not your nigga. I was like, I'm so sorry, Bob. She was like, I knew that wasn't you. She was like, you don't talk to me like that. And I'm mama's boy, so she knew that wasn't me. Um,
that
yeah,
that's how my mom kind of was too. She was like she was yeah, she was told me she was like at first obviously it's frustrating. I want to calm you down, blah blah blah. She's like, but then toward the end, it almost became kind of funny because I know these are things that you would never normally say. Like there's no way in hell you would ever say this to anybody, let alone me. Like
right.
what you're saying right now is not you, James. So it almost made it kind of like funny to her. Like she wasn't laughing at it. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Like she
Yeah.
found it silly because she knows it was completely not my personality,
And he's out of
but
there.
also at the same time, something's going on. But yeah, yeah. And I always mention my mom just because I work with her, so I'm a little bit closer to her. But I live with my dad too. My dad's always in my life. My dad is always there as well, so he always helps out uh too. So I have him around. He's getting a little older and has kind of some of his own mental issues. Um, so it's hard to always, be in sync with him on my stuff too. So that's why I mention my mom a lot more often than my dad. But he is there. I do have both of them in my life. So considering a
Right.
lot of situations and what a lot of other people go through, I definitely do feel very, lucky and grateful for the situation that I am in. If I do have
Yes.
to have all of these seizures, I'm in a good situation at least for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Totally understand where you're coming from. I have both my parents, fortunately. Um, my father was gone for my childhood. Yeah. So I have both my parents, and yeah, I'm happy about that. It's not everybody does, like you said. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I mean, like I mentioned just the other day, yeah, how my grandfather had um how he passed away, how he was killed during his surgery. My dad was only 32 at the time, and I'm 39 pushing 40 right now, and like I just said, sometimes like I get annoyed with my parents always being checking in on me and asking me how I'm doing and did you take your meds and all of this, and like I get so frustrated, but also at the same
all
time
out of
like with
love.
that, yeah, exactly, I try and tell myself like it's coming from a position of love, right? Like at my at my age, my dad didn't have his dad around. His dad was already gone. So I should be thankful that I have somebody to come in and check on me and ask that I'm taking my meds, right? Like I shouldn't be
Right.
annoyed about it. Like I should be happy about it. But that's not how the human mind always works, right?
Right. I understand where you're coming from. But I got a post here. It says, first seizure in a year, and I am devastated. I had my first seizure in over a year today, and it crushed me. Living with epilepsy already makes me feel like I can't give my daughter the life I want for her. I can't drive, so I constantly feel limited and like I'm failing her compared to other moms who just take their kids places. Now with relapse, all those feelings of inadequate are louder than ever. I just needed to vent because right now it feels like I'm not enough for her. Um, I'm going to tell her from experience, I feel the same exact way as you do. I can't go places with them because my seizures have turned into from tonics to wandering off. So I don't want to take my kids in public and I wander off and they're just going to follow me just because I'm dad. And that's just how shit happens. So I have to stay with the kids at the house, go with somebody. Sometimes I push it a little bit, go to the movies and go right back home. But other than that, um, yeah, I don't go in public with the children. I don't suggest it for anybody with epilepsy. Yeah, I always told myself if I have a seizure, I'm gonna feel so bad if I left the house, knowing I couldn't leave alone. But my son loves the movies, and nobody ever wants to go with us. So every now and then we can do it. This time, just this time. Don't feel like a bad mom. Just comes with it. It's nothing you can feel bad about. It's nothing you can do about it. Talk to somebody, maybe come here. Yeah, find someone to talk to about it. Otherwise, you can go crazy. You need a support system and going through this. If you don't have a support system, I've seen that go terribly wrong. Yeah, and make you hate some people, to be honest. Make you really resent some people and kick them out of your life. But I go through some of these comments. Anybody got any comments on that? You guys don't have children in public. Oh, Kate, you do. Ooh, Kate. Yeah, most recently
Yeah,
you experienced that, right?
yeah. Uh, Seizures in public, that's again kind of what you said. That support system is important. I shouldn't be trusted in public alone with children, but when Nana's around, that's useful. Children that are 10 years apart, it's a little unfair. So sometimes if I go anywhere with, older daughter because she knows how to handle a seizure primarily, that's kind of how we try to keep it fair. So, if she wants to go shopping and the little one wants to just go run around, then we make it work. But absolutely impossible without a support system, and definitely really embarrassing because I just feel like it causes way more stress and trauma than they ever would need.
Yeah, I remember my kid telling one of his friends, my dad has seizures. And I was like, I should not be embarrassed because they're children, but I was like, that is so kind of embarrassing to sit here and look at him like comfortably say it all nonchalant. But I was just like, he's just telling his friends. And then they instantly, what is that?
Yeah.
Then he couldn't explain. He's like, he has seizures. They're like, what is that? And they're like, yeah, basically he was 9. He was like, it's a seizure. And basking, going in circles. Um,
But that's the most beautiful thing about children. I mean, whoever posted this probably already knows they've seen how just genuine that children can be, and if they know from birth that, mommy or daddy has this condition and it's part of who they are, so since they're still the greatest one alive, then there's nothing wrong with epilepsy. There's nothing wrong with seizures. And that's the reassurance that I appreciate most from them. Just totally accepting it and adapting. Children are amazing. They're truly miracles. But anyway, mommy rant. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I go through some of these comments. First one says, as an epileptic father with 2 kids, it is hard. I have around 2 a year. Comparison is the thief of joy your child doesn't understand yet. But in time, they'll understand the weight of your parenting boulder you push up the hill. Yeah, my son understands that. Another one says, as a father of 2 kids, I totally get it. My epilepsy has gotten to the point where I have all these small episodes that seem to be focal aware seizures, and I cannot really drive, but my kids are older already, so they understand it more. In fact, it inspired my youngest to want to be a neurologist. So they do eventually understand what you are not capable of doing and don't hold it against you. So hang in there and be there as much as you can for the child. You're doing really good and being a good parent, and it's always fine to vent. That it is. Don't be mad for venting. Some people will make you feel bad for venting. Don't. Yeah.
Fuck.
I've heard people try to make me feel bad for venting, tell me they don't want to talk about it, or seizures is something they don't want to talk about. But never let someone make you feel bad about venting. If not, I just go in the
No,
room and
it's
think to myself.
if anything,
That's
that's part of your healing and your recovery. So anybody who has a problem with that is obviously not supportive. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. But
That's
yeah,
one of the reasons I have jumped in here so quickly with you guys, is you guys have all been so like opening and I don't know, like a warm welcome and everything. Like I know I'm out there and I kind of rant and ramble on and stuff about things, but you guys always are accepting and you listen and then you give advice. And yeah, I mean, I yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for like the literally the last couple of months here, how opening and accepting you guys have been. I've been really looking for yeah, just some sort of help with the seizure, stuff, being now almost 20 years of having it and now finally finding something. It's helpful. Even if it is just me just doing this for 60 seconds here. Ranting on, and you guys might be thinking in your head right now, like, God, this motherfucker should shut the hell up. You like
no, never.
but you guys aren't. No, I'm not saying that you guys are saying that, but I'm saying, like, as long as you're not saying that out loud, like, it makes me feel, at least like I'm being
Yeah.
listened to, and I finally have a safe space. And so thank y'all for that, for sure, for sure.
And thank you. I need somebody to listen too. So you're here for that too.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why we'll make sure that there's never any rules or regulations that really dictates what you can say when you're expressing yourself, as it is part of healing, and we all know that. So
Yes.
handling your business does depend on, for me anyway, these safe spaces. Now we have like all officially said the phrase safe space. I think except for Pookie today. So
That's true. I did just drop that, huh?
well, no,
Yeah.
Mark was talking about his safe space when we had a neuropsychology question, like first one. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that's
okay.
clear.
Yeah, I was yeah, before I got
Yes,
in, I
my
think.
my
That's
my
funny.
moonlighting here and everything, sensory cave, safe space for me.
Yeah, me too. It makes me feel good. Yeah. I need people to talk to. You guys are good people to talk to, and you understand me. And I'm helping you while it makes me feel good. Just being here, it's helping my mental health. Yeah, so it's been good for all of us. Go through a few more of these comments. One says, family, I hear, and although I don't see you physically, I'm there in spirit hugging you. I know there's nothing I can do or say, at least that's how I know and feel sometimes. But I hope you know you are not alone. I am rooting for you, and we got this ish. Love you. That is a bummer. I understand that the longest I've been seizure free and the past 9 years was close to 2 months. That feeling is just really draining. And it says, I'm so sorry. You relapse, been in that boat many times. I'm not mom, but I have 3 types of epilepsy, and I understand how devastating relapse can be. Hope you feel better soon. One more. It says, my first one, in 8 months, I cried and cried as I thought they had ended. People were trying to cheer me up, and I told them that I needed to cry. My kids are grown. I was diagnosed at 44, so I can't imagine how terrible that feels for you. Love and support for your daughter. That is the most important thing that you can do right now.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.